What's up, everybody? It's the Spiritual Light Pastor through Miss Pat, and I'm back at you with another video. And today we're going to talk about time glitches and dimensions and how you can use them. Okay? There are many things in this world that we have, and none of this is woo woo. So if you came on here for woo woo, it ain't going to be woo woo. Okay? Time glitches. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced these types of things. Time glitches are situations where you may be in one space and all of a sudden you will see something like a glitch, as if a computer goes off or a video skips, or or if you've ever looked at a video and all of a sudden it goes up, you know what I'm saying? That's a time glitch, but it happens in real life. For me, this happened to me in real life. My mom was sick. I was in a hospital, and I'm the only one with her. And me and the Most High had a exchange that wasn't exactly pleasant. Cause I said something pretty heavy in that hospital when that old lady was sick. I said that woman loved you. And if this is ever a time for you to show up, she ain't never had no husband. She always thought of you being her husband. You better show up today and be her husband. That's all I gotta say. Oh, I was awful. Most times I know he gonna be like, "You little girl, you done said some things out your mouth." Honey, when that old lady got sick, that me and her may have had our differences, but when she got really, really sick, I was definitely devastated. And I had no one. All I had was him, and it was a lot of pressure, and I had some words with him, and then he showed up. Boy, did he show up. He showed up in a time glitch. I was leaning over my mother to tell her goodbye, and all of a sudden, her face did. And I'm like, what? I'm like, literally, look like a computer going off and on. Like a. I mean, I was like, what the hell was that? Are you serious? What the fuck was that? I mean, I was sitting here literally. I jumped away from my mother, and I was like, what was that? I had to go outside and have a smoke behind that. It scared me to death. And I came back, and I'm looking at him like, lady, all right. And she was okay. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that was. And it's bothered me for years. But the very next day, not only did my mom wake out of her coma, where we were in the hospitals, quite a few people's mamas in comas, and my mom was one of them. But everybody on that was on the what do you call that area, intensive care unit, who was in comas, all woke up except for my mama. My mama was the last one to wake up out of her coma. But this was a glitch that I saw in time. Now, this is not the first time I've seen this glitch before. The first time that I saw this glitch is when I first had my first spiritual awakening. And having a spiritual awakening is not a fun experience at all. Okay, it's a lot of crazy shit happening to you all at once that's unexplainable, and no one and nobody on this planet can tell you why it is happening to you. Trust me, I have been through it. It was not fun at all. In the late 90s, early 2000s, I was having a spiritual awakening, and this was the weirdest stuff ever. Okay, I happened to talk to this engineer that was at my job and about what was happening to me, seeing as that the church was telling me, oh, you got demons on you and all this other stuff. Now, this particular gentleman was Jewish. He just listened to what I had to say, and he was like, I don't really know what to tell you. Then one particular day before he actually quit, he brought me my first Bible, and it was a Hebrew Bible, literally a Hebrew Bible. And he said, just read it. And I was like, why are you giving this to me? Don't you need this? You Jewish. I'm not Jewish. He said, you are Jewish. And that was the last thing. He said, no, he told me, you are a Jew. And that was the last thing he said. And then he was transferred to someplace else. I'll never forget this. The moment I started opening up this book, I started having very strange dreams. This was the beginning of the Pat you see today. Started having bad, strange dreams. First dream I had was I saw this man with an afro standing in this material that looked like, remind you of what potatoes used to come in, and it was like this tweed itchy stuff. I was like, oh my god, that's gotta feel uncomfortable to wear. But he had a whole entire outfit on that was like this. That was a long gown, and he was behind these strange gates, and lightning was coming out of one hand, and fog was coming out of the other. And I was like, and in my mind, I said, please don't turn around. And when I said it in my mind, it came out loud like it was on speakers. I'm like, this is not, where am I at? And I came up out of the dream. That was the first time, okay? I started observing the Sabbath day because I was reading this book. And everything that I read inside this book, which was the Bible, I was like, wow, look at the sacrifice this man did, which I was reading about Joshua, okay? And I said one day, the least I could do is to ask if I could be here in the end times to help him fight in the war that's coming. Let me tell you what happened when I said that. A wind came from out of absolutely nowhere, went down my throat, caught me off balance. This is how hard this went down my throat, took my voice away for 2 months, and I was deaf in one ear for 2 months. Okay? I was like, I told my mom, I don't know what I said, but I can't hear. I can't talk. What's going on? I went to the doctor. I had a severe case of laryngitis, but my voice box was not swollen. I'm like, then what's going on with my ears? It's like there's no wax buildup. We don't know what has happened to you. Now, mind you, through these 2 months of me being deaf in one ear and can't talk, I was experiencing dreams. These were the dreams that I was experiencing. I'd go to sleep and I'd hear constantly. And on this side of my head, I would hear every Bible verse I've ever read being repeated over and over again. To the point that one particular time my sister walked in, she was like, I came over my mother's house, and I had my own place, and I came over my mother's house, went to sleep in my sister's room, and she was like, what the hell? Did you just like throw water in my bed? What is going on? I woke up completely drenched because this was happening to me, okay? I woke up completely drenched. I didn't know what to do. Now I'm unraveled because at this point now at home, when I'm at home, I see things out of the corner of my eyes. Things going past in the kitchen and things like that. Go in the kitchen, I don't see nobody. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this what's going on. As soon as I start opening up this book, things is happening. Okay? Now the night I had that dream about the gentleman inside behind the gate and with the lightning and the thunder, and he's wearing this sackcloth like material. The next morning I woke up and the whole entire United States, they said, had this fog, a strange fog that came from nowhere that literally covered about at least 5 states in the Midwest part of America. So everybody had this fog. And I'm like, I saw the dude who did it. I saw him doing it in my dream. This was crazy. Okay? So this kept happening. So one particular day, I'm way off at this point. My whole life is literally upside down. I don't know what's happening. I had to go outside for a cigarette, and all of a sudden, I'm standing outside, and another lady standing outside, and we saw this gigantic cloud in the back of the school where I worked at. And it's hovering. And it's like, it's looking at us. I said, girl, you see that? She said, yes, I'm looking at this. What is that? I'm like, I don't know. She going aside. I'm being nosy looking. This thing comes right up and hovers dead in front of me. I don't remember anything after that. All I know is that they come and find me laid out outside. And this girl's like, I told you should have came. What? Shit, I don't know what happened. We saw a cloud over there, and Pat was laid out in the back, and she came back out, and I was laid out in the back. I didn't know what happened to me. My mama told me you were slayed in the spirit. I'm like, okay, I don't know what all of that means, but I don't know what is happening to me. I am a party girl. I like hanging out on Friday night. I don't know nothing about none of this. So what ends up happening is that for some reason, no matter what time I got up for work, I could not get to work on time. So I got a warning from my boss saying, look, if you don't get here on time, the next week, I'm going to have to write you up. And then after that, I'm going to fire you. You need to get your ass here on time. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm trying to get up. And I don't know what it was that kept stopping me from getting up and getting to work on time. I didn't even work that far away from my job for this to be an issue. But it got to be an issue at this time. So I was like, Father, I need you to give me speed. I don't know why I can't get out of this house on time. And all of a sudden, something said, because I don't want you to. And I was like, who? I'm like, who is this? And I'm like, it scared me to death. So I run up out of the house. I'm still trying to get to work on time. I'm in my car. For some reason, it's like time is stretching. So I get to the job. And I'm like, this lady I'm going to end up getting fired if this keeps happening. So I get to the machine. I know in my car it's saying I'm supposed to be working 8:30. I'm pulling up at 8:40. I get to the swipe machine, and the swipe machine says 8:30. I'm like, how the hell is this saying 8:30? And I know I didn't leave the house till 8:30. How is this thing? Is this thing broke? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm not going to trip about it. I come back to look at the clock. It say 8:45. Now, I just walked away and came back 8:45. When I looked at this thing and said 8:30. I'm like, okay. I don't care. It said I'm at work. Okay, so this half ain't say nothing to me. I'm good. Next day, same thing happens again. I was like, I get to work. The clock says 8:30. I'm like, I left the house at 8:30. How is it possible it's 8:30? I swipe. I'm cool, but I'm still like, this is bothering me. So I go back to the clock, 8:45. I said, ever since this Jewish dude gave me this damn Bible, shit been going really weird. Okay, really, really weird. So I go outside and I'm like, what's exactly happening? And a voice said straight out to me, time does not exist when it comes to me. And I look around the corner and I'm like, who did I say that? And I'm like, am I hearing things? So I call my mom. I'm like, look, mama, I don't know what's going on, but I'm hearing people talk to me. Mom was like, what have you been drinking? I'm like, I ain't been drinking nothing. And you know I don't even drink like that. So why did you even ask a question? You been smoking something? I ain't been smoking shit, ma. I don't even smoke stuff like that. What is you? And she's like, I'm like, I don't know what's going on with me spiritually. Something's going on with me spiritually. She's like, yeah, something is. She's like, because this is constantly happening. Something is messing with time with me. And finally I was like, I heard it. I said, I stood the same place where I heard this voice. I said, now, I know this may seem crazy that I'm talking to myself, but if you can hear me, I need you to do something for me. If you playing with time with me, then tomorrow I'm going to come to work on purpose late, like really, really late. And I want to see what happened. And next thing I know, I did this stuff yesterday. It was 8:30. I left work literally at 9, almost 10 minutes to 9. I should have been at work exactly 9 o'clock. When I got to work, the clock said 8:30. I swiped the thing in. I turned around, and the clock was 8:55. I was like, okay, I'm officially scared. I'm officially scared at this point. So I didn't know what to do. And meanwhile, all of these things are happening. I'm having these strange dreams. I'm having these strange interactions. The more I try to read and get into all of these different types of, what it's Sabbath day and observing them. There's weird things happening. I got neighbors coming to my door, knocking on the door. Your daughter, I got some candy for your daughter. And I live in a building. I'm not a friendly person. I'll say hi, bye, that's it. You understand? You knocking on my door, asking to give my daughter candy at 8:30 at night. I don't know you people. Next door neighbor, oh, can I use your phone? What? You people have never spoke to me ever. All of a sudden, since I started reading this book, all of a sudden I'm getting creepy ass people coming to my door. This is getting real weird now. You understand? It got so strange that I moved from where I was and came to my mom's house. And all kinds of things were happening to me. All kinds of things I kept seeing. Because shadow people, you know what I'm saying, having dreams. I'm having things of breathing on my face. You know what I'm saying? It was being paralyzed, sleeping. All of these things were going on with me at this particular time, right after this man handed me this Bible. And I just didn't know what was going on. A lot of the poems and things that I was writing were happening at that time where I had to get stuff out of me and things like that. I didn't know what was happening to me at all. And I could not stop this. I had to either embrace it or let it take over me. Now, after 2 months of me not being able to talk and have no hearing, eventually I was okay. But I read a lot. So all of those Bible verses stayed in my head constantly on a regular basis. And I understood a lot spiritually. I got to the point with the Bible, I was practically a scholar myself. I was actually having big conversations with people who thought they was church people. But I wasn't into the church thing. Okay, I wasn't into the church thing because my grandma blew that shit for me with the running around the church and everything. We go to church with her and it was like embarrassment camp. Okay, here's your granny with the Holy Ghost running up and down the church. And we sitting out here like, you know, at first everything's cool and we listening to the song at church. And all of a sudden granny go, hallelujah! And it's like, wait a minute, what is wrong with you, granny? What is you doing? Why is you screaming, hollering, running around the church? I got friends up in here. Damn! What? Hey, like, is that your grandmama rolling around on the floor at church? Baby, church was never for me. I said, I can't do this place. This is too crazy. Granny and her friend back here having a shouting contest back here. I can't do church. I can't do church with these people, okay? But when it came down to this dimension thing, that's what got me. Now, you need to understand, yes, we live in the third dimension. The third dimension is where you can think a thing and you get all the pieces that it takes to be able to make it, boom, come into the existence, okay? If I want to make a pie, I go get the apples, I go get all the ingredients, and, you know, make the dough and all of that, and ta-da, I have a pie. In fifth dimension, it is I think of a pie, and a pie is there. Do you understand? Now, when you need to understand that just because you're in this dimension does not mean this is the only dimension that you're in. You've heard of the term higher self. Yes, we all have higher selves. Okay, that's yourself that knows everything. But there are also other versions of yourself having experiences too in other dimensions, and you must graduate from each and every last one of them. Okay, and to a certain degree, the Zohar has made me understand that those dimensions are just like those places on the Jacob's ladder that are on the ladder. Okay, they're different dimensions that you go up. Okay, and that you must master to become like Mozart. Okay, so this, like I said, this is a big school, but you need to understand that there are certain dimensions and each dimension has its issues. Like, look at what's going on in the third dimension. You understand? I'm more than sure that the fifth dimension has its issues too. Because if so a man thinketh, so it is. And we understand that because we've heard it here. We've heard it in our dimension here in the third dimension. That so a man thinketh, so it is. If you think you ain't shit, you won't be shit because you will not do anything to be shit. All right? But inside the fifth dimension, that literally is so a man thinketh, so it is. Because so you think of something and it becomes reality, you're responsible for that particular reality. There's many things that Mozart was saying to us in a lot of these books that are going to start to make sense now. It was one part in one of the books. He says, if you are, he said, what are you going to do when the one becomes two? Like when you know that you're one, then all of a sudden you become two people. You understand? There's a physical you and a spiritual you. What are you gonna do then? You understand? It's like, and then when the two becomes another, so that means there are more versions of you. You're having different experiences all at the same time, and how they can help you in this particular dimension is if you needed a friend, and many of us are very much so introverts. When you needed a best friend to talk things to, talk about, and they were never around, or you really needed someone and they were never around, or people abandoned you, this is the time. That's the time where you call upon the other versions of yourself in the other galaxies and in the other dimensions to come to you in this dimension and hear you out and help you through figuring out certain things. And how I know that this is a thing that works, I've done it myself. I know I'm not this damn smart. I have seen things literally answer. I get answers to things by doing this. And people are like, what do you mean? I literally say, all versions of me from all parts of the galaxies, from all the dimensions, I summons thee. And they come. And if it's something that I need taken away, if it's something I need to understand, they are there. And including my higher self. Now, my higher self really don't care. I mean, I've noticed she like, what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is about her, but she don't show up. But the other ones do show up. And they could have all different types of experiences happening in different dimensions. I mean, to be honest with you, if you ever thought of yourself as a villain, I know I have. The closest villain that I've ever come in contact with that would literally describe myself would be either the character, what's her name? Maleficent or Cruella. That would be my villain. Those are the villains, and Catwoman. Those are the villains that honestly I identify with. There's a big possibility that I'm a villain someplace else. I'm having different experiences. Why? Because I know my personality. I know me on the inside. I kind of know what I'm capable of. I know I have a good side, and I have that side that'll grab you by your neck and keep on squeezing. You understand what I'm saying? There's a part of me that knows who I truly am and how I am and how I can be. That's the reason why I'm really leery about people who label things good and evil, because to a certain degree, it isn't just good and evil. It just is. You understand? People like, oh, this is good and this is the truth and this is a lie. No, it's perception, because believe it or not, a lot of people who are bad people literally believe what they're saying is correct and how they think is correct, because from their perception, it's all right. Do you understand? What they doing? Killing somebody is all right. They justified in this, in their perception. Okay, I had to learn that in law. There's no such thing as, you know what I'm saying, guilty and innocent. It's perception. You understand how you perceive this situation to be. Somebody may say, I was in the right for shooting the hell out of somebody's dog. It was barking at me. It was trying to attack me. And somebody like, you don't have a right to shoot anything. It was a living thing. You're in the wrong. You understand? Everybody has their different arguments for different things. But when it comes down to dimensions, you can use those to heal yourself. You can use those to talk and bring yourself out of situations that are very hard, because they are higher and know more than you. And who else to help you than yourself? Do you understand? Who else would be better and know you better than anybody but yourself? But you don't realize that yourself has been split up to literally learn and discover many things all at the same time. Okay, so don't think that this is the only place in where you are located. Some of us are going to be after most of cracks them skies. Some of us will stay here. Some of us will go on to the next. Some of us may be ready to advance on to other things. You understand? This is a constant learning situation that happens to every planet. So right now we're on this planet going through this situation. All the planets are making their move up to the next. So when one group is finished with this, now the next group is getting ready to go into. I kind of see how it all comes together, and it's a beautiful thing. But I wanted to help you understand how dimensions work. Dimensions are not anything outside of this woo-woo-ness. It's literally another way. And your Bible is giving you clues that there are other dimensions and other worlds. and other levels. There is the ethereal world. The ethereal world is the spirit world. You can't see that. They can come and hang out inside this world all the time. Okay? That's the reason why I was hearing things and hearing people talk to me and hearing conversations where there was no one there, because I was coming close to the ethereal world. You understand? And then people sit up here and label you crazy, saying you hearing shit, but actually you are hearing shit. It's just from another dimension in which you're hearing things. And they don't understand that, because the Gentiles' level of understanding is honey, pretty much down here to the dirt. Okay? They can't tell you shit. All right, they done lied about a lot of things that are on this planet. There's a lot of things that they don't know. Okay, that have that oh, it's in the book. Then that means it's not true. That's not necessarily the truth, and we all know that. These are things beyond their ability to comprehend. That's all. You understand? So the ethereal world is a world that you cannot see. That's a whole nother dimension onto itself. The moment that you're able to start seeing those things is the moment that you realize you're crossing over into another dimension. You understand? That's the reason why when you look at little, I don't know if you can see this, but if you see the square, you can see a square inside of here. You see a star, you know, the Star of David, but you also see a square. So these are the different dimensions that you're looking at something that looks flat to you, but as you look at it and you move it, you begin to say, I see a whole entire square. I see triangles. It's like things it's like universes within a universe within a universe within a universe, and they're all touching each other. Okay? And just imagine if we're inside a simulation and we're watching our own behavior, but ourselves inside the simulations cannot see us. Do you understand? That's what's happening here. We could be, you could have people grading you on how well you're doing your marriage, and they're looking at everything you do. Can you relate? Do you see this whole? You understand what I'm saying? But they can't say anything because you know what I'm saying? They can't see, you can't see them, and they can't hear, and you can't hear them because they're here on another dimension, whole nother wavelength. Do you understand? So dimensions are not woo-woo things. It's things that we can't see. And that's the reason why people see glitches in time. You're seeing that the dimensions sometimes have a hiccup. It's like, what was that? And they're like, they saw that. They saw that. Can she see again? No, she can't see again. Okay, we good. You understand what I'm saying? That's how your guardian angels and things like that can work with you, and you can be in this world, and it's a whole nother world going on at the exact same time. Okay, I will talk to you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.